The animals of Australia have evolved over millions of years, making Oz home to some of the most unusual creatures in the world. Today you'll learn why the kookaburra laughs. You'll discover how high and far kangaroos really jump, and if a bearded dragon waves goodday, you'll find out if you should greet him back. You'll hear legends as told by the Australian Aborigines, the oldest living culture on the planet for over 40,000 years. You'll meet lots of kangaroos and wallabies, and learn how you can protect these beautiful animals right here in Alabama. So let's get started. As the largest member of the kingfisher family, the laughing kookaburra is found throughout the wooded areas of southeastern and western Australia. The rolling laughing call of the kookaburra is one of the best known, unknown animal sounds in the world. The sound you hear in jungle movies is not a monkey, but actually a kookaburra. A legend says that the kookaburra laughs just before dawn to signal to the sky people to light the sun. That's also why the Australians call him the bushman's clock. The Aborigines believe that if a child insults a kookaburra, they'll grow a very long tail. A kookaburra's mate for life, and each year Grover would help his mate build a nest inside of a tree in the springtime. The babies are hatched in about 25 days. They leave the nest in another 30, but the parents continue to feed them for another 40 days. And the children stick around for years to help care for the new babies, which is really quite unusual in the animal world. Kookaburras eat snakes, lizards, insects, and small rodents. They're also one of the few birds that can hover like a helicopter, but when it comes time to eat, they like to perch and pounce. We're going to let Grover go back to his little home. Now, the Australian outback is an amazing place and home to what many think is one of the most fascinating and popular creatures, the kangaroo. There are over 40 different species of marsupials in Australia. The 6 largest are known as kangaroos, and the smaller of the species are called wallabies. A history says that when the settlers first came to Australia and saw these animals, they asked the Aborigines what they were. They said kangaroo, which meant, I don't know. But the name stuck. As a desert-dwelling symbol of the land down under, the largest of the species are the red kangaroos. They'll get to be about 6 foot tall and weigh close to 200 pounds. They're found in the dry central part of Australia, known as the outback. But the outback's not the only place you'll find kangaroos. You can find them up in the trees like the tree kangaroo, out on the forest floor like the tiny rat kangaroo, and even on the rocks like the yellow-tailed rock wallaby. From head to toe, the kangaroo is supremely adapted to his environment. This is Darwin, and he's an 8-month-old red kangaroo. Now, as you can see by these large ears, roos have excellent hearing. Not only can they turn their ears independently to listen to noises coming from 2 different directions, he can also turn them 180 degrees when listening for sounds of fox, dingoes, and even people. All are predators of the kangaroo. A kangaroo's range of vision is about 300 degrees due to the position of his eyes. A human's range of vision is only 180 degrees by comparison. And see these black and white markings on his face? They're like our fingerprints. They're different for each and every red kangaroo. Kangaroos are all herbivores. In the wild, they'll graze on grasses and shoots. But here we feed them a specially prepared kangaroo chow, along with fresh hay. During the heat of the day, they hide out in the shaded areas and come out in the coolness of the evening to eat. When they get too hot, they regulate their temperature by panting, sweating, and licking their forearms. But kangaroos don't need billabongs or watering holes like cattle do. They get most of the water they need from the food that they eat. And see these little hands? They have 5 fingers, just like us. On his back feet, he has 1 large toe, used when fighting, and 2 little claws used for grooming. Kangaroos are all members of the family macropod, which translates to Bigfoot. Most appropriate for those feet, as you can see. They're nature's high jumpers. They can jump 10 foot high in a single hop. When they're on the move, they can reach speeds of up to 40 miles an hour. Each jump covers about 30 feet. In fact, when they're hopping at high speeds, they use less energy and oxygen than other animals that run or gallop. Let's not forget his tail. His tail is very powerful and very muscular. It's used for balance, especially when kicking with both back legs. They can also use it as a weapon. A kangaroo can slam an opponent with their tail very actively mid-hop. Now, people always ask me, do kangaroos really box? Well, they do live in mobs. Mobs are groups ranging from a male known as a buck and a few females known as flyers up to 100 roos. The males box to establish dominance over other males in the mob. There's always one dominant male. Speaking of mobs, we're going to take just a minute to introduce you to the rest of our little mob. And we have 6 different species here from all over Australia. Dakota is our red kangaroo male, and he's about 1.5 years old now. Kiwi and Whisper are western gray kangaroos, and they're found throughout the southwestern part of Australia. The females are pretty much full grown, but the males will get up to about 180 pounds. Peanut is our swamp wallaby. Now, the swamp wallabies are found throughout the swampy areas around Queensland and have the nickname of the black stinker. Bandit is our Bennett wallaby. Now, the Bennett wallabies are found throughout Australia and New Zealand, which makes them much more tolerant to the cold weather. Milo's our agile wallaby. Now, the agiles are quite common throughout Australia, but extremely rare on display here in the United States. And Tucker and Candy are our wallaroos. Now, people think that the wallaroo is a cross between the kangaroo and the wallaby. They're actually their very own species. Our next little pair comes all the way from the rainforest of Australia. I think he went back to the rainforest. We're going to need a volunteer to help me get him to reappear. How about you right there in the little zebra shirt? Come on up. Come right over here. What's your name? Jamerica? Okay, this is going to take Jamerica's help and your help. She's going to wave her hand over the pouch and say, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. And I need you all to say, oi, 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 which is a great Australian cheer. You ready? Really loud.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Hey, let's stick around. We got more work for you. Nico is a sugar glider. Well, the sugar gliders get their name because they have a membrane that runs from the front leg to the back leg that allows them to glide up to